Howdy folks, I'm back with another video, and today, in March of 2019, we're going to be talking about my top favorite films of 2018. I know what you're thinking, Tyron, why the fuck is this coming out near April? Well, it's because even though I like to do stuff, I don't do stuff on time. So anyways, let's crack straight into it. Number 10, Deadpool 2. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, this probably isn't going to be a great list. And yes, it probably won't, but these are my favorites, and I'm impartial to action and superhero movies. So good ones will be on the list, and there was a lot of them this year. So at number 10, Deadpool 2. Now, Deadpool 2, hits the same familiar notes as Deadpool, but it adds in more characters and a more emotional storyline than the first. And honestly, it turns out to be a very good, kind of touching, little heartwarming film at times, even though it's still very raunchy and I would not take your kids to this. But it's a very solid sequel to a great first movie, and this movie was great in its own right too. It was great seeing how they really worked with more of the characters this time, and didn't just go for all that just raunchy humor. Anyways, I have no more points to make on Deadpool 2. I've watched it a lot. It's super funny. Literally, there are so many scenes in that movie that make me burst out laughing. It's just amazing. And at number 9, we got Creed 2. Creed 2, I was a big fan of. I've always been a fan of the Rocky movies. When Creed was announced in 2014, I was a little skeptical. I was like, can you really bring Rocky back? Plus, Rocky Balboa was a good send-off for the iconic character. But then Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan teamed up, made probably the best film of 2015 in my opinion. And then Stephen A. Cable Jr. took the reins and decided to go for the second run with Creed 2. Now, Creed 2, it brings in Victor Drago and Ivan Drago, from Rocky 4. And it kind of starts messing with Adonis. These are the people that killed his dad. They openly challenged him. He's got to take the fight. Of course, as you know, gets his shit rocked first fight. Then he has to train harder. Rocky is in his corner in the second fight. He wins. And it's kind of the passing of the torch from Rocky to Creed. There's this one scene where Rocky's sitting in a chair and the camera zooms out, and Rocky's got the word Creed printed on the back of his jacket. And it's kind of symbolic of him passing the mantle to Creed now. These are no longer just the Rocky films. These are the Creed films. It was really nice. I like the sequel. It's a good sequel. Up next, Upgrade. Upgrade was a sleeper surprise for me. I didn't know about this movie. This movie was like fucking John Wick to me, alright? I didn't know about this movie and how badass it would be because I was just kind of watching the trailer and I was like, not really into it. Then I watched the movie and was just blown away by what I saw. This movie has amazing action sequences, good humor, and it has a great twist at the end. I'm not going to ruin it. But it's about this guy, Tracer Gray. He gets in a car accident. Some dudes kill his wife. He gets paralyzed. And then this this billionaire offers to give him control of his legs back by implanting this thing called STEM in his body, which will reconnect his nervous system. But the thing is, STEM is its own living entity, so it has a mind of its own. And the fight scenes in this are great. The camera work makes it look like they're moving more. It makes it move like their punches are moving quicker and more intense and they're hitting harder. It's really great camera work. I like the sci-fi element of this film, which is really great, It's just an all-around good movie, and I'm surprised it went under my radar for as long as it did. Alright, number 7. I'm not even going to call it a guilty pleasure. It's a good movie. Crazy Rich Asians. I like this movie. The first 30 minutes are kind of slow. Just meeting Rachel and Henry and then that text conversation. I didn't know what the fuck was going on and I was on a date at the time. So I was just sitting there kind of is this worth watching? Should I just focus on the date? And then 30 minutes in, the mom, well, not 30 minutes in, closer to an hour, but the mom meets her son's girlfriend. They're a super rich family and they're super traditional. She doesn't like that she's a professor at NYU and all this shit. That's when it starts picking up. The drama comes in and it starts getting really interesting. And that's when I was like, nah, fuck the date. I'm watching this movie. This movie's good. And it got really good, except for the part at the wedding where some dude couldn't stop fucking snoring during the movie. Thank God for AFTA. Anyways, it's a good movie. It's a great rom-com, too. Probably one of the best rom-coms released in the 2010s. I can't really think of that many of which are better. So, yeah, it's definitely one of the best. It's got great music, too. I love the music in this movie. I love the music in all the movies so far, particularly Creed 2 and Upgrade. Those were really good. Avengers Infinity War is number 6. Now, there had never been a cinematic event like this. Like, ever, really. There never really was. No movie was ever really this big and had this much building up to it. There was never a whole universe behind, behind any movie before, but this had like a whole interconnected universe of 18 films coming in leading up to it. And it was just, the best payoff you could have fucking got. My God. There are so many great parts of that movie, and they do a great job of juggling the characters. I didn't like how Captain America wasn't used a lot, but I feel like he's a primary, he'll get a lot of screen time in Endgame. Probably the most, actually, since he's going to die. Don't be sad, guys. He's going to die. Just accept the reality. Anyways, but there's so many satisfying and epic moments in this movie, all for them to lose in the end. Just fucking crazy. There are a lot of kids crying when Spider-Man said, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." God, all the Spider-Man memes. Anyways, yeah, Avengers Infinity War. Great movie, great movie. It surpassed all my expectations, honestly. I went into that movie thinking, it'll be big, but I don't know if they can really do this. And then they fucking pulled it off, and I looked like a goddamn idiot in the theaters just clapping my hands and shouting. Also, Thor's entrance into Wakanda was probably the most badass entrance into a fight scene ever. It's definitely number 1 this year. Number 2 this year is also on this list, but it's definitely number 1. Definitely number 1 for this year. Number 5, okay, more serious. Black Klansman. And even though this is kind of touted as a drama or political comedy, it's a very, very, very good movie. And the parallels it shows between the world back then and how it's not so much different from the world we live in now is kind of crazy. Denzel Washington's kids, I can't remember his full fucking name. Is it John David Washington or something? Yeah, he does a great performance. Adam Driver does a great performance. They embellish a few things from the book, but it is still a good movie in its own right. It's definitely worth checking out. It's very powerful, very moving. Actually, not very moving, but it's just really, really good. I like that movie a lot. It's good. Anyways, number 4. This crazy motherfucker jumps out of a goddamn helicopter in this one. I don't know if he did it, but he definitely did something similar. Anyways, Mission Impossible Fallout. Tom Cruise is back at it again. Let me tell you, man, that weird fuck, he is still on a roll with these stunts. Man's still pulling off crazy shit, doing amazing fight scenes. And Mission Impossible Fallout's like any other Mission Impossible movie. Some dudes got nukes, they gotta take him down, they gotta find the nukes, beat the guy, take down the nukes, bam. That's it, Mission Impossible, baby. Just fucking solved. Oh shit, should have thrown it on my light. Anyways, so basically in this, the villain from the last movie, Rogue Nation, I think Solomon Kane, has plutonium cores, and he can detonate nukes in 3 parts of the world, so they gotta stop him from detonating any of them. That's it, but the stunts and the action sequences are so insane. Henry Cavill and Tom Cruise in that bathroom fight scene are awesome. I love that shit so much. I love it. And then the final fight scene between Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill is great. And quick question. Yo, Snyder, Whedon, why not just let fucking Cavill keep the mustache? Okay, he looks 10 times more badass with the mustache than when he's shaved. You fucking idiots. You guys fucked up the DCEU. All of you did. Especially you, Snyder. I'm not going to be a total dick because I know something happened last year, but still, stop fucking up the DCEU. Anyways, on to my third choice, which is 8th Grade. This movie's really good, guys. And coming from a first-time director is just really fucking surprising. I love Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham's an amazing comedian. I love him so much. Also, Elsie Fisher gives an amazing performance in this, guys. I think she should have been nominated for an Oscar because it was truly, we felt the same pain that she did. She made her character so relatable that at times I was like, this has literally happened to me before. Like, when a character does that, it's truly something special, and I think more people need to recognize that, But it's whatever. This movie's really good. Bo Burnham is super talented and always does a great job whatever he does, so, didn't expect anything less here. Number 2, Black Panther. Now, this is currently Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler's third team up, and it's another great fucking movie, alright? Remember before, they've made Fruitvale Station, which retells the final days of Oscar Grant before he was gunned down in Fruitvale Station. And then Creed is all about Adonis Creed, the legitimate son of Apollo, but nobody knew about him. You know, trying to make his own in the boxing ring, and he has to get out of his father's shadow, and he asks Rocky to come train him. You know, he's got to fight Ricky Conlon, some other shit, some other deep shit. And then comes Black Panther. But wait up. Michael B. Jordan named, you know, T'Challa. That's Chadwick Boseman, who does a great job in this movie also. But, you know, Michael B., he's Killmonger. He's trying to kill T'Challa. He almost succeeds. And fucking Michael B. Jordan's just looking gigantic in this movie. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, oh yeah, also shout out to Michael B. and Creed too. Man was scary looking then. Like, not unhealthy, but like, definitely a dude you don't want to drop the soap around, you know what I mean? Anyways, on to Black Panther, which I was talking about before. This movie has great performances from its whole cast. Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, I don't remember her name, fuck. I don't remember the name of Shuri's actor. I'm pretty sure I'll remember in a second. But also, you know, you got people like Angela Bassett in there. Forrest Whitaker, which was surprising, you know. You usually never see him. What is it? Letitia Wright. God damn it. You also got Daniel Kaluuya on that project. You had a ton of prominent black actors in Hollywood on this movie. Plus, you also got Andy Serkis in there, which was funny. You guys like Sterling K. Brown. It was just crazy. This movie was unlike anything we'd seen from the Marvel Universe, where it focuses more on the narrative part of the movie. I liked it. But I will admit, the last fight scene does look like a PS4 boss fight. No, sorry, PS3 boss fight. I mean, come on. Anyways, on to number one. The movie I've been ranting and raving about the most, the movie that most people tell me to shut the fuck up about, it's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, before you, like, think, oh, God, here he goes again, let me tell you why this is my favorite movie of 2018. 1, I'm a big superhero fan. 2, I'm an animation fan, you know. But this year was a very, you know, kind of average year for fucking animation. I mean, seriously. Incredibles 2 was not that good. People hype that movie up way too much. It's not that good. It wasn't. Plus, it gave kids seizures, so how good can it really be, huh? Anyways, fuck. And All the Dogs was good, but not nearly as good as Fantastic Mr. Fox. I mean, Fantastic Mr. Fox is just way better, and it seemed like Isle of Dogs was trying to do something similar to that. Really didn't work. But Wes Anderson is still a great director. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse broke the mold, using fresh animation styles that we had never really ever seen before and were completely unique. You know, it's not just like, oh, that's something cool. It was like the whole fucking thing was something we'd never seen before. And it's probably the most aesthetically pleasing animation ever put to film. And we get, like, how they create this whole other world around the characters. And it's amazing. Also, one thing that's great about this film is that it spends a lot of time developing the characters it needs to. And it has other characters, but they don't really get a lot of development, but they do well with what they have. Like, they make themselves memorable in certain ways. Like, while Miles and Peter are the two main characters of the story, people like Doc Ock and Kingpin are memorable because even though they get little development, they make a first impression on the audience, and that's how they'll be remembered. And they make villainous impressions on the audience when they first meet them. It's kind of crazy, right? Also, I love the whole angle of a depressed Peter Parker who's been being Spider-Man too long, and it's just taking a negative toll on him. I love that they've toyed around with that concept. I feel like without people like Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, that would have never happened because the studio would be like, oh, let's make him like, let's literally make him bottomed out, or let's like make him like a really good Spider-Man. Like, no. Make him like a depressed, schlubby Peter Parker who still handles the responsibilities of Spider-Man, because that gives us a more interesting character. And honestly, he was great. I loved him in the film. Spider-Gwen was still really good. Spider-Ham was hilarious. Spider-Noir was the funniest character in the movie. Penny Parker, I like the design of Spider. And, you know, she was a good kind of side character. Now, one thing I also love in this movie is the music. Not only the soundtrack, but like the original score. Now, the soundtrack album for this, the one is an album kind of like the Black Panther album, except it caters much more to the movie's atmosphere than Black Panther did. Because Black Panther, it's mostly set in a African country, so why would they be playing hip hop there? You know. But in Brooklyn, it's easier to set that atmosphere with hip hop, which is what they did well by getting newer, younger artists on this album, which I really liked. Also, the original soundtrack's amazing. Oh my god. Whoever composed this movie is just really fucking good at their job. I like how, like, the scores for Spider-Man doing stuff were like orchestral scores, whereas Miles, they were like orchestral scores, but they had hip-hop elements added into it to kind of reflect more of his personality and how he is as a Spider-Man, which I thought was fucking awesome. It was cool as shit to watch. Anyways, those are my 10 favorite. Also, wait. One more note with Spider-Verse. Action scenes are awesome. The action is all over the place, yet it's so cohesive. And even though the last fight is just fucking bonkers, it's still just so entertaining because you can see everything that's going on, every punch, every, every web slang. It's just amazing. There's a bunch of humor in it. I just love this movie. It's hard for me to talk about it because I love it so much, all right? But anyways, those are my 10 favorite films of 2018. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.